Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to give you guys a heads up on some of the best Steam PC game deals under the price of $10. Now, I recently did an under $10 video, but that was through Green Man Gaming. These deals are available directly on Steam, so if you want to use Steam refunds, if you just like buying all your games directly through Steam, you don't want to utilize other e-tailers, then this is the video for you. A lot of great deals available right now, so let's just get right into it. Let's start things off with the Capcom Tokyo Game Show sale. Cover these real quick. Devil May Cry 5 is $9.89. They do have the Deluxe and Virgil bundle for $16. Devil May Cry 5 is awesome. It's a great action title, excellent soundtrack. I'm not crazy about DMC from a lore standpoint. Like, I know some people are super into it, so like that just might be a me problem, but gameplay is where DMC, in my opinion, shines, and DMC 5 is a true, kind of standard bearer of DMC gameplay, and Devil Trigger is still one of the goated battle tracks that you are ever going to come across, so obviously worthwhile to check this one out. 71,000 reviews, 95% positive. I don't know, like, who's giving DMC 5 a negative review? It's gotta be, like, some people gotta, I don't know, it's not even that difficult of a game, so it's like, yo, wow, what's going on here? That should be a 97% in my opinion, but I digress. Next up, DMC Devil May Cry. Now, this is a game that sees a little bit more of a mixed reception, even though on Steam now 16,000 reviews, 93% positive. I'm actually kind of happy to see that. This game is done by Ninja Theory, who are now owned by Microsoft, who are working on titles such as Hellblade. DMC Devil May Cry was their take on Devil May Cry, and it got a really mixed reception initially, given that, Dante, let's just say he had a little bit of a redesign and people weren't all too happy with it. But the thing with DMC Devil May Cry is you just go into this expecting an original action game. Do not take it as a part of Devil May Cry, and you'll enjoy this game quite a lot. It's a well-made action title, and for $7.49, I think it's a good buy, and I'd recommend it. Next up, also as a part of the Capcom sale, Resident Evil 2, 75% off for $9.99. Resident Evil 2 is excellent. RE4 is still holding up in price, although it is on sale for like $39.59. I would still say go buy that at that price because RE4 is awesome, but Resident Evil 2 is great and really kickstarted the Resident Evil remake hype train, and sub $10 for this, obviously no brainer. They recently threw out an update for this, not recently, but somewhat. It wasn't that long ago that they updated the game and made it even better. So, yeah, great game. Strongly recommend that as well. All right, moving on from that, there is an EA sale going on right now. I want to give a shout out to A Way Out, which is 80% off for $5.99. Now, this is a co-op only title, so I'm sorry for those of you that don't have friends. It's a little unfortunate, but no, seriously, you guys can invite a person to play with you for free, so $6 for A Way Out is great. It's a very short game, but it's got a really compelling narrative and a lot of twists and turns throughout. Visually, it's not blow away by any stretch of the imagination, but I still thought overall it was a pretty solid game. And again, if you're into story-driven co-op titles, this is a pretty solid one that you can complete over a weekend or even a lengthier sitting. So, yeah, Way Out, pretty good price there. Next up, Kingdom Come Deliverance, 75% off for $9.99 for the Royal Edition. That includes all the DLC. The base game is $7.49. KCD, in my opinion, is one of the more underrated RPGs. It's not for everyone. If you're not into that historical aspect, I don't think you'll enjoy Kingdom Come Deliverance as much, but I like this setting. Has more of a realistic vibe going on for it, and the story is pretty solid as well. Gameplay might not be for everyone, but overall I thought it was a fairly well-made game. Visually, it looks pretty good as well. And the Royal Edition has a ton of bonus content, so $10 for that. Obviously, you're getting your money's worth in terms of the amount of content you're getting for your dollar. Next up, Disco Elysium, the final cut, 75% off for $9.99. Now, it's always a little bit controversial to, like, recommend this game. The game is tremendous. I think most people, I should say, that played this game will say that it's a very well-made game. Although some people that aren't into more methodical, narrative-driven titles, decision-based games, I can understand why some people wouldn't be as into it. But if you're into story-driven games with a lot of rewarding decision-making, Disco Elysium is going to be a game you really enjoy. There's a lot of stuff that happened with the publisher and the developers of this game, which is really unfortunate, which, kind of puts a dark cloud over this game, but as far as the game itself goes, it's fantastic, and I highly recommend you play it. But whether you want to buy it for $9.99, whether you want to sail the high seas, whatever way, definitely go play Disco Elysium because it is a great, great game. Next up, we have Journey, 50% off for $7.49, done by That Game Company. This was a pretty iconic game that released in the PlayStation 3 days. Now, if you're unfamiliar with That Game Company's titles, their games are very much more sublime and, like, evocative, I guess you could say. They're very engrossing games in terms of they're interesting and well-presented games, but they very much are light on the direct gameplay aspects and more are a part of the atmosphere and the immersion. But I think Journey did a really good job with that. Like, I heard crazy things about people saying, like, at the end of Journey, they cried and things like I think that's a little bit much. Like, I don't think Journey is that crazy, but you know what? If it made you feel those types of emotions, good for you. And I think it's a pretty powerful game, so $7.49 for it is pretty good. Just bear in mind, it is very, very short, so you know, not a super lengthy game, but an experience I think everybody should try out. There's also a bundle with Journey and Flower. That is that game company's other title. That's $8.31. Flower, I really, really dug. And I remember playing that game as a wee lad because I had a PS3, and that was one of the early downloadable PS3 titles. And I remember really enjoying it. And like, give credit to my younger self because most kids back then were not playing games like Flower. So the fact I was playing Flower, yo, man, give me some props on that one. But nonetheless, obviously, I'm joking. $8.31 for the bundle, $7.49 for the game itself. Next up, we have Sonic Generations, the collection, which is 75% off for $4.99. I know I always go to bat for Sonic Frontiers, but Sonic Generations is a Sonic game that's a little bit forgotten about that ended up being really good. It was celebrating the 20-year anniversary of Sonic, I believe, and it was kind of combining old school Sonic and the 3D Sonic, and it turned out to be a great platformer. Once again, like every Sonic game, really good soundtrack, and the gameplay was a Sonic at kind of its best. So like $5 for Sonic Generations collection I think is really, really good. Kind of surprised it's unsupported on Steam Deck. I don't know why that is. It says Valve is still working on adding support. I imagine it works on Steam Deck. I can't imagine why this game wouldn't work, but nevertheless, $5 on that. Yakuza 0 is 65% off for $6.99. This game seems to have had its price increase because on all platforms it's now $7. Maybe they realize this is a game a lot of people want to play. Yakuza 0 is the best entry point for the Yakuza franchise. It's an over-the-top beat-em-up action game. Great soundtrack here, and the thing about Yakuza is it's got a lot of content, but it's kind of got that Persona thing going for it, where it's got a sizable amount of content, but the content's vary. Like, sometimes it's very engaging and emotional, but other times you're just doing goofy stuff, so it's pretty good in that regard and keeping it varied, and yeah, for $7, Yakuza 0 is great. There's a collection that has everything for $44. Actually, it has everything from 0 to 6, so it doesn't have the newer games, but nevertheless, that's pretty good for $7. And lastly, Slay the Spire is 66% off for $8.49. I think Slay the Spire is a tremendous game that I was not expecting to get as engaged into as I was. When I first heard about a roguelike cross with a card game, I was like, bro, what is this? And then I just bought the game because I saw the Steam reception and the game was coming out of early access, and you know, when games come out of early access, their price goes up, so I was like, screw it, let me buy it, and it turned out to be a game with a lot of depth to it, engaging gameplay, and really made you think. You can't just start hoarding cards and just throw around cards. You think you have it figured out initially, and then you realize this game's got quite a bit of depth to it, and if you're remotely into card games, or you just like roguelikes, or you just like tactical titles, I think you'll enjoy it quite a bit. 116,000 reviews on this one, and 97% positive, which is wild, but nonetheless, there you go, $8.49 on that. But that'll do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now. Links to all of these, as always, in the description box down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.